Well, I thought that the start of the game was obviously auspicious,
Recording in
not
progress.
not what we wanted to be down 14-0. We came out really, I think, amped up and took some quick shots early in the shot clock against a team that's going to be very patient, like they were. When we talked about that, how patient they were going to be and really grind it out offensively. And getting down 14, we did a great job fighting our way back to have it down three at the half. And then, obviously, 10 came out, battle, and really killed us to start that second half. He had 10 points in a row to build their lead back up to 14, where we had to whittle it back, and really did a nice job fighting our way all the way back to have it tied 76 all with less than a minute to go. I thought our crowd was great today. Really gave us some energy. So I really appreciate all the folks that came out to support us today. And give them credit. They have a bunch of older kids that have all played a lot of college basketball. Every one of those guys has played 100 games or more already in their career. And a number of them were, graduated with 4 years under their belt and they're playing for a fifth year, like Willis, like their backcourt. Lewis and Lowe are both fifth year guys that really know how to play and are tough and playing at a high level. Obviously, Battle is a very difficult matchup because he's really a three who can step out and shoot. And he's 4 for 8 from. He and Willis are both, they're 8 for 16 from three, and then Stevens is 3 for 8. So, those three guys really hurt us from the 3-point line today, and they shot 41% from three. That's a big number. We only had 11 turnovers as a team, which has been good for us, but they only had four, so it really stands out when there's a 7 possession differential. Turnovers. We did outboard him, which was really good. Did a good job on the offensive glass today, and I credit Minnesota. I think Minnesota's got a good team. Questions?
Start with Paul Jones.
Coach, you mentioned their first half start and battle in the second half where he scored 10 pretty quickly. What were they doing offensively to get some of those open looks? I know some in the second half you guys had a hand in the face, but more so in the first half. What were they doing to get those open looks?
Yeah, our defense was the most disappointing part of tonight for me. They shot 49% from the field, which you're not going to win many games when you allow a good shooting team like them to. They had some short rolls. I should have switched up our ball screen defense and trapped a little more earlier in the game, which is my fault. They had some early rolls where the big caught the ball at the free throw line and it was distributed it out. Uh, and we were having to come help too much right there. We probably should, be more aggressive and double a little more like we did late in the game. Uh, but our defense, we had a hard time staying in front of the ball at times, and a poor job in transition, especially in the first half.
Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, Garrison Brooks just told us, going out 14-0 down to start, that's kind of like unlike Mississippi State, that start. Why was it? Why was your team kind of in that stupor maybe for the first 5 or so minutes? And how did you try to, I know you called two timeouts in that stretch. How did you kind of try to get them back in it?
We were shell shocked as they were scoring at a high rate, and then we were taking quick shots and not scoring. I think Tolu finally broke the ice with a little fall away along the baseline to make it 14-2. But we've got to be better offensively and defensively, both. I mean, we were just failing at both ends of the floor. I thought our defense at times was very porous in that beginning of the game. I had great respect for this team. Watching it, I was very worried because I knew how good, especially Willis and Battle are, and they proved it.
I know you mentioned against Lamar, maybe has some defensive concerns. Not to this level, but was there carryover in some areas defensively from these two games?
Yeah, it was a different game. I mean, Lamar was, were going really small, quick, athletic guys, and the kid Roberts that hurt us in that game. But we've got to be better defensively than we were, and especially like in our ball screens. We got to go back and look at how we're playing ball screens, and it's tough because typically we've been good defensively.
Dio, go ahead.
Coach, was there a play call on Iverson's last shot, or were you just trusting him?
No, we had no timeouts left, and it was when we were down three. That was the shot you're talking about. I thought it was a little quick, but And they just scored a three, and I thought he was just trying to match it. I would rather have gone to the basket and or been able to set something up, but it was hard. I mean, he pushed it quick, and and that's the only thing that he really did poorly tonight was shooting from three. He was only 2 for 11, where he's a much better shooter than that. But I probably had to play him too many minutes. I thought that Rocket gave us good minutes off the bench early in this game, and then as the half went on in the first half, he got tired. He's still trying to get himself into game shape, and even Tolu in the same vein. I mean, those kids are still battling their way back from coming out from the injuries and the surgeries that they had, and it was tough.
Stefan, go ahead.
Yeah, Ben, you mentioned it there a little bit. How much do you feel kind of down the stretch it was costly for you guys to not have those timeouts?
Yeah, it hurt us, but we wouldn't have been in that situation where we actually needed them if we hadn't taken them early in the game, because we were getting multiple times. And the one timeout was taken by Cameron Matthews, where there was a loose ball down there and we got the ball back. The other two I called early in the game when we were down 7-0, then again 14-0. I believe those are the two timeouts that I took early in the game just to try to get us settled down. We got to get better at both ends of the floor, which we finally did. I mean, from that point forward, down 14-0, we outscored them 32 to 21, I believe.
And then want to just follow up on defense there real quick. Only 4 turnovers for Minnesota today. How much was that, you think, just them playing clean ball, and how much do you think maybe could be attributed to your defense?
I think a lot of it's their abilities as guards. They did a great job handling the ball. You have 2 fifth-year. I mean, it's such a difference when you got a guy who's been in college going in his 5th year. And I mean, this is a 5th year. They're playing for a 5th year. I mean, that's not allowed normally unless there's some special circumstance, which was the case with the COVID. So both those kids are excellent guards that are very, very tough. Both those kids have great toughness, and give them credit. They handled the ball very well and didn't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, you look at Lowe. I mean, Lowe played 38 minutes, had 4 assists, 0 turnovers, and played solid defense. Took a tough charge on Iverson late in the game, in transition. So I credit them. Those guys are very, very tough.
We'll go back to Andy.
Hey Ben, just not regarding that last shot from Molinar, but we saw him drive the lane a couple times for some and ones there late. How much do you want him to kind of have that focus of, let's just get to the rim and kind of good things will happen later?
I just want him to read what the defense gives him. I want him shooting open threes. He had a couple. They were actually giving him threes to start the game, where they were going under the flare screens and saying, "Go ahead and shoot," and he was flat on a few of them. And so he's got to just keep putting the time in. But he's a good shooter. I mean, he shot 44% from three last year.
We'll go back to Theo to wrap it up.
Yeah, Derek Fountain averaged about 20 minutes last year.
Who?
Hasn't really played lately. Derek Fountain.
yeah.
Is that just a factor of increased depth, or is there something going on with him right now?
No, there's nothing going on with him. It's just that the guys that are playing ahead of him are playing ahead of him based on performance.
What does that say about the depth that you've praised a lot this year, that you have a lot?
Yeah, we have more depth. And I thought that in the first half, I thought that our reserves that came in at the 5-minute mark really got us back into the game with their toughness. I thought that JD and Andy Garcia, I thought those guys came in and gave us a lift. Rocket, they gave us a good lift to get us back in striking distance.
What exactly happened, I guess, in the first 5 minutes of the game when they go, 14-0 up? I mean, what did you kind of feel like? What was the issue there for your team to kind of get going today?
Came out sluggish, just nonchalant.
Recording in progress.
Just unlike us. We're a better team than that. I think so we made the mistake of digging ourselves in that hole.
How did you guys go into halftime? I mean, what was kind of the message at halftime to try to dig your way back in?
We fought our way all the way back. I think that we're a really good team still. Like, we were close. I think that we had a chance in the end. Willis made a tough shot. He's a really good player, so I think that's just credit to them. But, I mean, we came in, knew we had to pick it up on defense, and that was the only way we were going to be able to win.
Paul Jones, go ahead.
Garrison, what were they doing offensively to get, in the first half they had a lot of looks, a lot of open looks. The second half, you guys played better defense and they hit some tough shots. But
Yeah.
what were they doing offensively in the first half?
I mean, I think it just goes to show that they're a veteran team, a lot of older guys on their team. I think it shows because they didn't turn the ball over that much. They turned the ball over 4 times for the whole game, which is terrific. I think it just goes to show that how well they play together and how much of veterans they are.
Theo, go ahead.
Garrison, for Iverson Molinar to make those 2 shots at the end in the final minute there, what does that say about his capability to lead this team?
Man, he's a great player. I think it just goes to show how much hard work he puts in. And I think he was just prepared for the moment. He took advantage of it.